I'm happy to introduce you the first speaker of today, Zhanar Samayeva, who will be talking about the infrastructure that she and her team is building with the National Payment Corporation of the Republic of Kazakhstan, and which experiences, also plans and maybe some challenges and lessons that building this great infrastructure has taken her to.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for the introduction. And my name is Zhanar, and I am a CEO of the National Payment Corporation. It's actually the subsidiary of the National Bank, and we are a technical operator of the whole National Bank systems. Basically, today I will not be talking about the payment systems itself or the separate digital products, but I would like to emphasize how the philosophy of the development of the financial market has been changed lately, because like recently we used to that the digitalisation is defined by the separate digital products, like for example in the financial market, for example by having the mobile banking app or digital wallet or online loans or anything, something like that. But nowadays we understand it's obvious that competitiveness actually is defined by is defined by the quality of the infrastructure in the financial market. So basically, infrastructure gives the ability to the financial market to implement the innovations, to scale their digital products, and etc. And today I will be talking about our experience, the experience of the National Bank on creating and building the national digital financial infrastructure. So when we come when we build the national infrastructure, we have to, first of all, understand what kind of challenges comes in the market, in the financial market. And it doesn't matter, actually, it's emerging market or vice versa. Basically, all the markets, they kind of deal and face the same, more or less same challenges. First of all, we understand when we talk about the digitalization, it's quite kind of costly for the market to onboard their customer, to transfer from the offline to the online market their clients. Second of all, kind of in the financial markets, usually each participant trying to create their own ecosystem, their own products and everything, and they do not kind of cooperate between each other, and that actually creates another challenge of lack of interoperability, because when it comes to the clients, they want the seamless services, they want to cooperate with other financial digital products and etc. So, and we also understand, this is a huge challenge, that the more digitalization, the more fraud risks are coming. So this is kind of challenges we understand that the emerging markets face. But what we did is we decided, the National Bank decided to create the infrastructure, not the separate digital products, but the infrastructure that will actually help financial market to connect to it and build their own, let's say, cooperate between participants of the financial market and build their own products. Like, for example, our financial infrastructure, actually, it's kind of infrastructure where financial markets connecting to each other, and they can get, I think you can't see it here, but you can get all the services, like, for example, the digital onboarding of their clients, the payment system, the interbank payment systems, the interbank cooperation, the interbank anti-fraud system, and etc. I will talk a little bit here what means digital infrastructure. So basically, when we started to develop it, we didn't just do the separate products, but we did as a whole system, like divided into several, let's say, divisions. Like first of all, the payment systems. Like we provide the different payment systems to the market, and last year we were the first one in the region to actually switch to the international standard ISO 222. We also the last year implemented the interbank system, the card payment system. So basically we localize the processing of the card payments here in Kazakhstan. And last year we also launched the new payment system, is a fast payment system. So basically this is kind of the system, and all the banks are connecting to that, and they can provide very fast services to their clients. Like for example, P2P remittances, using the mobile phone number, or etc. QR payments, the interbank QR payments, and etc. So basically, this is the whole payment infrastructure we provide to the market, so they can actually decrease the time to market of their products. The second part of the infrastructure, the national digital infrastructure, is the digital trust infrastructure. That's what we call. Basically, we provide the market participants, not only banks, but the microfinance organizations, payment organization, and etc. The digital identity, actually the biometric identification, authentication, actually everything that comes with the trust. The cloud signature, for example, electronic signature for the people. And basically this is one single point for the market where they can connect to and actually onboard their clients very digitally, let's say so. And the third part, I would like to say that it's not about payments, it's not about the digital identity, but it's about data exchange. So we provide the infrastructure so that organization may exchange the data between each other using our infrastructure. It's standardized open API approach, let's say so. So also we provide the infrastructure for collaboration for the market in terms of stopping the fraud, the fraud that is coming due to the digitalization. We launched in 2024, we launched the national anti-fraud system. So basically, whenever the fraud is happening, they're reporting to our system. And each time, for example, another participant is providing the service to their clients, they're checking if their client is in the list of the fraudsters or something like this. Also, we are providing and connecting them to the, let's say, to the criminal prosecution authorities. So whenever the fraud has happened, they report to our system, and those authorities trying to, let's say, investigate the case and return the money to the clients. So basically, this is very shortly what the infrastructure looks like, but what kind of lessons we have learned when we started to create or during the creation of the infrastructure. So basically, first of all, I want to emphasize on the digital identity. We understand that digital identity comes first. So whenever you want to do digitalize or anything, you have to start with the digital identity, because this is something must be or must do. This is something that is also equal to electricity, for example, or roads or anything. So whenever for the financial market, the first thing you have to do, you have to provide the digital identity, the infrastructure for the digital identity. Because using it, they can scale their products and do the online communication with their clients. So basically what we provided is biometric identification, authentication, and in the cooperation with the National Bank, it actually became the must use. Our product is must use because it's defined in the law that for the onboarding you have to use that system. The second lesson I would like to emphasize that we always have to think about citizens and make the interoperability happen. Actually, that is why all the systems I told you one slide before is actually provide the interoperability for the clients. This is kind of we provide the invisibility, because the clients, they don't have to really care what kind of payment system they're using, their bank using, what kind of infrastructure comes behind the service or etc. So we have to make the infrastructure as invisible as possible. So basically, this is a lesson tree that we have learned. It's about the fraud prevention, but I would like to divide the lesson into two parts. So the first part is we understand that the fraud prevention actually has to be, it's not only about banks anymore. We understand that the fraud is actually the chain of the process. It starts with telecom, it starts with the phone calling, it starts, then it finishes with the bank when they try to fraud and take the client's money, the fraudsters, I mean. And it finishes when the fraud has happened and you have to go to the authorities to get the money back and etc. So we understand that it's not only the task of the banks anymore, it's a task of the whole system, and that is why we have to provide that infrastructure to actually communicate between different markets, not only financial markets. But the thing is that was the first lesson we learned. But then after we launched the anti-fraud system, we understand and we make another lesson that we have to change the model, not the change, but we have to, let's say, change the model from the current model where we investigate the fraud case, but to prevent, from reactive to proactive. So basically, this is what we are now building. We are trying to, let's say, not trying, we are doing, let's say, we're doing that model where we first of all integrate with all banks. We do the transactional anti-fraud system where we can detect the fraud, prevent fraud, and the fraud never happens. So we're coming from the reactive to proactive system. Also, the data exchange. We all know that data currently is a really expensive active nowadays. But basically, actually, we have to provide, the market itself, they are quite fragmented and they used to live inside their own system, but we have to provide standardized infrastructure so that we can grow the cooperation between markets and provide the different services and products to the market so they can trust each other while, for example, exchanging the data. That is why we created different services like consent management, the centralized consent management, because like when we talk about the data, we understand that the data is actually the data of the clients, and we have to get the consent to transfer one data from one system to another system, let's say so. And we also understand that because our digitalization in Kazakhstan is quite very high because of the government services, so basically we provided the infrastructure for financial market to integrate with the government systems. So they can provide other digital products to their clients. So this is a huge demand, actually, which we didn't understand at the first time, because we thought that we will provide the infrastructure to exchange the data between the banks or etc. But we understand, and this is a lesson we learned, that there is a huge demand in governmental data. State data, let's say so. And the last lesson which I want to emphasize is that whenever we talk about the innovation is not only about the market. The innovation is also about the cooperation between the market and the regulation. So basically, most of our products are happened and used by the market because of the huge cooperation between national bank and the market itself to actually create that basis, the law and jurisdiction basis to use those products to make that happen and everything. So that has to be a huge cooperation between the regulator and the market itself. So this is kind of 5 lessons that I try to emphasize. And lastly, what I want to say, I already did like a few minutes ago, but why we do it? We do it actually not for the technology. We don't do it for, I don't know, the beautiful architecture or anything. We do the national digital infrastructure for the people to make their life easier. So basically, infrastructure is not about, let's say, the more complex it is, the better it is. No, it's not about this. It should be easy, and it should be like centralized, like it's worked in our country, and actually the more invisible infrastructure is, the more seamless digital products or user experience for the people is. So thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, please go back. Let's get one question.
Thank you. Thank you for the overview. It was super clear. I'm just have like a question more out of curiosity, and if you can tell a little bit more about how the digital identities works, because I completely agree with you. That's the cornerstone. Because I was wondering, one of the most, well, I know one of the most, but it's still really expensive, is every time that you want to open a bank account, you need to do KYC. So I was just wondering if this is a certificate that you have maybe on DLT, or how does it work, and if it's reusable, so I can just like basically apply this KYC across different banks, like kind of like a reusable KYC that facilitates the process. So just
I will tell you. Actually, we have a huge advantage in our country just because we have the state database of the whole biometric data of the people. It's actually state database. It's not the national banks. But the thing is, the cooperation happened between government, national bank, and banks. So basically, what we do, we use that centralized state biometric state database, which is actualized and everything by the government. So whenever you do the documents, your actually data goes to that database. But what did NPCK together with the National Bank is that using that database we created the services of the dual like two-factor authentication plus KYC. So it's not only like identifying, yes, like matching the photos, but it's also about KYC. We also like providing the data of the KYC, like the address, the name, all the data that is needed. So we provide actually the like digital identity as a service. So we don't do just the match of the photos, but we take the risk and we say yes, that person, who is he claiming to? So basically, we let's say so, like technically or user experience. So we get whenever the client comes to the banks, they capture the photo and the bank sending the photo to us, and we are matching it with that state database. We take the risk, we identify, we say yes, this is who he's claiming to be, and after that, we are also sending all the data for doing the KYC for the banks. Regular database or what? Can you repeat, please?
Like I was just wondering if that is like a blockchain in the back.
No, it's a regular one. Yeah, it's a regular one. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Zhanar, for this impressive job. And I'm really impressed also of the level of integration and of the relevance of what you do nationally to all the international context. Good luck with everything.